Welcome back to what is known as the greatest series on the internet, where we put the Mega Minions from Despicable Me 4 up against our favorite superhero teams. In our first episode, we put them up against the Fantastic Four. If you want to see the results of that, it's on a previous video on my channel. And today, we will be putting them up against the MCU's original Avengers, meaning Captain America, Hawkeye, Iron Man, Hulk, Black Widow, your favorite. And we are going to put them against our serum-injected group of favorites, led by Mega Dave himself. Speaking of serum-injected, our first matchup is Mega Dave versus Captain America. In this prestigious matchup of Mega Dave versus Captain America, the two hardy leaders of their respective teams. They are both injected with a super serum that makes them very strong, muscular. So here's my perspective on it. They start fighting and they're throwing punches back and forth. They're both really strong. Captain America, he can do this all day, But at the same time, we've seen minions be hit by some ridiculous stuff and just walk away perfectly fine. Not even just the Mega Minions, even a normal minion can just be obliterated and then walk away like it's nothing, which is why I don't really think the shield does much. And I think pretty much if Mega Dave can get his hands on that shield, he can just yeet it away, and in a fist fight that would probably last a long time. And we've seen Mega Dave hop off buildings and completely survive. We've probably seen Cap do the same thing, but in a fist fight with the two of them, it is very, very hard to hurt a minion, especially a Mega Minion. I mean, we pretty much have never seen any of them get injured. I'm going to have to take Cap. He can do it all day, but he can't do it if he has broken ribs, or broken spine, or broken neck. Give me Dave. Our next matchup is Mega Tim versus both Hawkeye and Black Widow. Hawkeye and Black Widow are known to work as a duo a lot. They're lifelong friends, or not lifelong friends, but they're very close friends, stuff like that. So Mega Tim, and I'll remind you, he is the stretchy minion. He's basically Mr. Fantastic of the Mega Minions. He actually beat Mr. Fantastic when they fought earlier in a previous video. But let's say they start fighting. Black Widow, she kicks, she punches, all of that kind of stuff. So Tim, what he would do is he would just take his very extendable, stretchy arms. I mean, he can take some kicks and they might hurt. But if he just wraps around Black Widow, tightens up, wraps around in an infinite 20-foot rope and just tangles her up, she's done. He can just strangle her. Over. Alright, so now it's between him and Hawkeye. Once again, these minions are basically indestructible. I don't think an arrow would do much. And he could take one arrow, and basically, so let's say Hawkeye shoots at Mega Tim. Tim can know exactly where that's coming from just using the angles and the direction. And he can just reach his hand infinitely, grab Hawkeye, slam him up against the ground, break his bow in half. Or he could just catch one of the arrows in the air, or make a net for one of the arrows, catch it and just use his arm to reach as far as he can and stab him back with it. I'm going to have Tim taking down both Hawkeye and Black Widow, which is going to make it, we'll say 2.5-0. Mega Dave and his minions are up. Our third matchup of the day is going to be Mega Jerry versus Mega Hulk. Or sorry, just normal Hulk. So Mega Jerry, if you don't remember, he's the rock one. He's basically just an indestructible. You cannot stop him. He's a force that cannot be stopped. Like when a unstoppable force meets an immovable object, except the immovable object is Hulk and he can be moved. So both of them are uncontrollable, angry, unstoppable beings. But we've seen that Mega Jerry can just walk through walls, be slammed against walls, and be completely unaffected. which is why, I mean, Hulk could grab him and throw him, and it could hurt, but then Mega Jerry's just going to get up, and nothing's going to happen. We've seen Hulk fall down. We've seen, him get so hurt that he just turns back into Bruce Banner, and we already know that Mega Jerry could literally just pick Bruce Banner up and eat him. This is a very hard one. I think they would just be infinitely fighting, or I think it'd just be infinitely just Hulk continues to punch him and punch him and punch him, and he never gets any progress, so he just gets mad and, runs around uselessly. I'll call it a stalemate, but I do not think it'd be possible for Hulk to take down Mega Jerry. I won't give either team the point for that one. That's going to be a tie. And that leads us to our next matchup, probably the most difficult to make out. That's going to be Mega Gus versus Hulk, the God of Thunder. Now, Mega Gus, he's like this bullet that can fly around the place. He's probably the weakest of the Mega Minions, facing probably the strongest of the Avengers. But they're the only two that can fly. So, I think Mega Gus could probably take a hit from Mjolnir. But, ultimately, I really don't think there is much Gus could do against Hulk. Not much he could do against Thor, the God of Thunder, who's very hard to beat. Thanos could barely beat him. So, I'm going to have to give this one to Hulk, which makes it 2.5 to 1. The Mega Minions are still winning. Which brings us to our final and probably most important matchup, which is Mega Mel versus Iron Man. Mega Mel, he has this laser on his head, and he can just laser eye everybody. He's kind of like Cyclops from the Marvel Universe. And we all know Iron Man, Tony Stark, in the suit. And here's my perspective on it. I'm not too familiar with how well a laser is going to tear through Iron Man's suit, but we have seen Mega Mel's laser at effect, and it has a history of just being able to kind of cut through whatever it wants to. So I'm thinking, Iron Man could definitely keep up with him. He could fly around, confuse him. It's hard for Mel to, move his head around with that big ol' heavy thing. But if he could just get one hit with his laser, well, two things could happen. One, he could just send Iron Man flying in the other direction. Or, he just cut straight through the suit. He could cut an arm off, cut a hole, or blow a hole through Iron Man. And, you lose an arm in a fight, it's kind of hard to keep going, especially against a minion that's very hard to destroy. I'm going to have to give this one to Mel. It's a controversial pick, but I'm going to give this to Mel, which officially makes the score 3.5 to 1. I'll recap everything. So, Mega Dave beat Captain America, making it 1-0. Then Tim beat both Black Widow and Hawkeye. Now, I only gave him 1.5 points instead of 2. You could give him 2, but that's going to make it 2.5 to 0. Then, Jerry and Hulk fought, and that one was a stalemate. That one, neither could beat the other, because Jerry just kind of walks around and eats whatever he wants. Hulk would not be able to do anything to Jerry. That was a stalemate. No points to either team. Or, we'll give 0.5 points to each team, which makes it 3 to 0.5. Then, Gus and Thor fought. I had to give that one to Thor with the upset, making it 1.5 to 3. And then Mel and Iron Man fought. Mel came up with the victory, which made it 4 to 1.5, which is a victory for the Mega Minions. There is your answer, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, the Mega Minions would definitively beat the original MCU Avengers. Comment down below which superhero team you want to have them fight next. There we go.